Here's Brody Brazil.
So how do I read it right now? We're talking about just the Senate. Again, the Assembly has to take their own vote after the Senate. If the Senate passes, right, 21 members of the Senate, so you need 11 yeses, right? But to me, the way I look at it, it's pretty 50-50 right now. Looking at body language, looking at comments and questions, I think that's the best way to describe the Senate outlook right now. And this is tight. This is not decisive one way or the other. I think it kind of does follow some party lines. Remember, Republican governor, Democratic-led Senate and Assembly. But that doesn't always follow those lines because there are people here who are more pro-business, pro-spending, pro-growth, pro-risk. And that doesn't always translate across party lines in Nevada politics, again, from what I'm gathering and presenting here. But I do think in the Senate right now, it is kind of 50-50. If I'm guessing, if there's 21 total members here and you need 11 yeses, I do feel like right now there might be 8 people in favor of SB 509. There might be. There definitely might be 8 in opposition. So there's 16. And there might be 5 people on the fence. Get you to 21. Is that the right math, Brazil? Yes, it is. 8, 8, and 5. If I'm guessing right now, I think that's a safe guess. There's opposition on clear fronts. Clear opposition on several fronts. Can't even read what I wrote there. But I would also say that, there's a few that we just haven't really heard from. We've seen questions asked. We've seen some ask no questions yet. Hard to know where they stand on this. And even again, with questions, sometimes tough questions turn out to be, okay, that's my showing, that's my tough questioning. I'll still vote yes for this. Even though I questioned it tough, maybe the questions got answered. So I don't want to get too far ahead of myself here. I'm not predicting either way for the Senate. I'm just saying it does seem very 50-50 with some clear undecideds so far. So right now we're in the state of amendments. SB1 came back unaltered from SB 509. Amendments have been requested. Nicole Cannizzaro, in fact, was at the end of Wednesday night, losing my mind, said, hey, I'm expecting we're going to see some amendments on Thursday. And apparently reportedly there were amendments, but apparently the amendments did not change the minds. They did not earn the necessary votes that this thing would move forward. And so you can see why, we were expected to have lawmakers on the floor at 11:30 on Thursday. And 11:30 passed, 12:30, 1:30, 2:33. It was at 4:30 or 5 o'clock. They finally came out and said, you know what? We're going to recess for the weekend. We're not only going to recess for today, we're taking Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off. And again, in reverse, this is both the Senate and the Assembly on recess. But in reverse, they're burnt out, right? So most likely, the reason for this extended recess is the amendments right now. Both sides probably looked at each other and said, we probably need to step back and reassess things. The lawmakers need a little bit more time to clear their head, to get a break from all of this. And on the A's side, obviously their first round of amendments that they made, whatever concessions were, and we'll talk about, I think, later on this presentation here, what are the things that are up for, change and what requests have been made to change. But it seems like maybe both sides looked at each other and said, we need some more time on this. And maybe the A's are going back, I don't want to say to square one, but maybe they're reconsidering a lot of things in SB1 that need amendments, some more things they can offer. I know the community benefits area was highly questioned the other day. But ultimately, how will time see this pause and this reset? And I was thinking about an analogy on this the other day, and longtime A's fans will directly understand this. And I hate to bring it up because it was tragedy for a lot of us, but remember the 1989 World Series, A's-Giants, right? Oakland wins the first 2 games. Minutes before Game 3 was supposed to begin at Candlestick Park, 5:04 p.m., Loma Prieta earthquake, and the series is paused for 14 days? It was a decent amount of time. It's funny, I should know that off the top of my head. But the World Series was paused. Baseball series don't pause like that for a long time. And everybody said, well, what would the effect be when the series ultimately resumed and the Bay Area took care of itself and recovered from the earthquake? Again, it's a weird analogy to bring back into this situation, but it is kind of like this right now. A couple days off, the A's with some opportunity to make changes, lawmakers with the chance to clear their head. How will this see the pause and the reset? And will things change that much? Will opinions change? Will the presentation change? Will the deal change? It's possible. It's possible some opinions get solidified, or there's more time and opportunity for, lawmakers to gauge the public opinion, which I think we'll talk about later too. The public opinion on SB 509 and SB1 have not been fantastic. So we'll find out. I don't want to imply anything, but the pause will have some sort of effect, I would think.